Welcome to the 2020 Australian Book Industry Awards. Please welcome your host, Casey Bonetto.
Like best night of my friggin' life.
Here's the situation, as if you didn't know. We've been in isolation for the last 2 months or so, and the nights are getting longer and the walls are closing in. But then I pick up a book, an Australian book, and I know we're gonna win. 'Cause in my mind, I'm in a sunlit field, gasping in delight as Kitty's rules are revealed. And all around, the countryside applauds. You're headed for the RBU Awards. If you're locked down in your hovel, you can set your spirit free. You can dive into a novel, find a better place to be. For we all get overloaded with anxiety and grief. That's why I pick up a book, an Australian book, when I need some light relief. And in my mind, it's 46 AD. I'm hiding from the Romans 'cause they're torturing me. I need better golden idols as my lords. So I'm heading for the RBU Awards.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 2020 Australian Book Industry Awards, featuring presenters such as Judy Nunn, Anita Heiss, Michael O'Loughlin, Kitty Flanagan, Andrew Daddo, Julia Gillard, the Honourable Paul Fletcher MP, and a special live performance from Miss Claire Bowditch.
To the authors and the editors, the publishers and such, the work you've done the year just gone has never meant so much. And in my mind, you all deserve to win. That's not the way award shows work, so first we begin. Time to declare the national awards. The literary community, the
Please welcome the President of the APA, Lee Walker.
Good afternoon, and isn't Casey wonderful? Hi, my name's Lee Walker, and I'm the President of the Australian Publishers Association, the host of these Australian Book Industry Awards. Let's take a moment to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we are today. I live in St Kilda in Melbourne, on the traditional lands of the Yalukit Willam clan of the Boonwurrung people. But wherever we all are, across the whole of Australia, we pay our respects to their elders, both past and present. So welcome. A big thank you to everyone who's contributed to the awards this year and who have kept on going when so much around us has suddenly stopped. To the sponsors who have stuck with us despite the big changes: Media Super, JC Deco, Ovato, Burrowbox, Booktopia, the Copyright Agency, Fairfax 9 Media, Nielsen, Bain, Puffin, Thames and Hudson, Simpsons Solicitors, Ingram Lightning Source, Better Reading, Books and Publishing, and John Fisher Printing. and to every one of the judges and their companies, to the organising committee who had to change plans mid-flight and who in a few weeks have converted our red carpet night into this afternoon's virtual show. Thank you, everybody. We may be socially distant now, but we're still free to connect with each other through our ideas. None of the authors or publishers nominated tonight needs to fear reprisals or imprisonment, as many of our colleagues around the world unfortunately do. What our industry creates, from playful first readers to the heaviest tomes, matters. It matters even more at a time like this. And E.M. Forster's famous phrase from Howard's End, "Only connect," feels more meaningful than ever. What we create and deliver, books, provide some of the most powerful, important, and enduring of human connections. Of course, I know that many of us in the book industry, in publishing companies, and also our bookshops are fighting hard to ensure our businesses are sustainable now and also into the future. And that is why it is so disappointing that our Prime Minister has said nothing about a senior official in his office sending out 59 illegal copies of a newly released book. This evening's awards provides something much closer to what we mean by great word of mouth. These awards celebrate the outstanding achievements created through the special partnerships between authors and their publishers, and the fabulous work our bookshops and retailers are doing to help us ensure that all of Australia is reading. Please join me in congratulating all authors, publishers, our bookshops and retailers on their awards today, and take a moment to congratulate yourselves for the courage and positivity, resilience and generosity that we are seeing and experiencing every day during what is a challenging time.
My name is Hugo Setzer, and I'm the president of the International Publishers Association. It is a great accomplishment by the Australian Publishers Association to hold this special ceremony online. Best of luck for the virtual edition of the Australian Book Industry Awards, and congratulations to all the winners. Thank you.
And now, please welcome our first presenter, one of Australia's most renowned and loved authors, Judy Nunn.
I've presented awards before, but never quite like this. Mind you, we're all in this incredible situation, aren't we? And it doesn't stop it being really exciting, nonetheless. So congratulations to everybody involved. Now, the first award I'm to present is the General Non-Fiction Book of the Year Award, sponsored by the Copyright Agency. And the nominees are
Against All Odds by Craig Challen and Richard Harris, Penguin Random House Australia. Banking Bad by Adele Ferguson, HarperCollins Publishers. Fake by Stephanie Wood, Penguin Random House Australia. Kitty Flanagan's 488 Rules for Life by Kitty Flanagan, Allen and Unwin. See What You Made Me Do, Power, Control and Domestic Abuse by Jess Hill, Black Ink.
And the winner is, for the General Non-Fiction Book of the Year Award, sponsored by the Copyright Agency, drum roll please, Kitty Flanagan's 488 Rules for Life by Kitty Flanagan, Allen and Unwin.
Get fucked. Are you serious? No. Well, I've never won anything. Okay, we just took a break there while I managed to close my mouth from this, which wasn't really a very good thank you speech. So I would now like to thank Allen and Unwin, firstly, for publishing the book. I want to thank Kelly, Angela and Karen Marie in particular at Allen and Unwin, who got me through everything. I want to thank Artie Lang and Karen Lang at A-List Management, my long-suffering management team. I really need to thank The Weekly, who let me come up with this spot on Charlie Pickering's show in the first place. And most of all, I really want to thank everyone who went out there and bought my book and validated the fact that 488 Rules for Life should exist and that people actually like rules, because I love rules, and it's so good to know that other people do too. So I want to thank all those people, and as well my sister, Penny Flanagan, and Adam Rosenbachs and Sophie Braham who helped me come up with a lot of the rules. So thank you very much, everybody, and I'm genuinely delighted. I'm so happy. I'm beyond making jokes. I can't even make a joke. Can't even say I look forward to winning the Los Angeles Book Industry Award and having a labia on my wall. No, I won't do that one. I'll stick with just an arbia. Thank you.
And now for the International Book of the Year Award. Another drum roll. And the nominees are
Fleischman is in Trouble by Taffy Brodessa Ackner, Hachette, Australia. The Dutch House by Anne Patchett, Bloomsbury Publishing. The Testaments by Margaret Atwood, Penguin Random House, Australia. Three Women by Lisa Taddeo, Bloomsbury Publishing. Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens, Hachette, Australia.
And the winner is The Testaments by Margaret Atwood, Penguin Random House, Australia.
Hello, I'm Margaret Atwood and I'm here in Australia having a wonderful time as always and touring around the country. So unfortunately I can't be with you in person tonight, but I'm wishing you a wonderful evening and catch you next time.
Please welcome Australian Book Industry Award-winning author, poet, cultural activist and social commentator, Anita Heiss.
Yiridimarang, Yuindu Yanada Heiss, Baladura Lang, Yinamaradu, Yagaragu, Turbugu, Mangu. Hello everyone, I'm Anita Heiss. I have Wiradjuri belonging, but I pay my respects this evening to the Yagara and Turrbal peoples of Brisbane, where I'm speaking to you from tonight. Tonight I'm presenting 2 awards, and the first book I'm going to present is Illustrated Book of the Year, and the nominations are
Three Birds Renovations by Erin Kalis, Bonnie Hindmarsh and Lana Taylor, Murdoch Books. Ben Quilty by Ben Quilty, Penguin Random House, Australia. The Lost Boys, The Untold Stories of the Underage Soldiers Who Fought in the First World War by Paul Burns, Affirm Press. The Whole Fish Cookbook by Josh Nyland, Hardy Grant Publishing. Australia Modern, Architecture, Landscape and Design 1925 to 1975 by Hannah Louie and Philip Goad, Thames and Hudson, Australia.
And the winner of the Illustrated Book of the Year is The Whole Fish Cookbook by Josh Nyland, published by Hardy Grant Egmont.
Oh, that's wonderful. Got goosebumps. Well delivered. Huge thanks has to go to Hardy Grant for giving me the opportunity, and Jane Wilson for all the persistent phone calls and text messages and making sure I was going to get over the line because it was a very tight schedule. Simon Davies for coming to the restaurant every week and making sure that I was on the right track. Daniel New for just the kind of creative mind that I've never really worked with before. A lot of people say that I'm very creative with what I do, but to work with Daniel was just amazing. The way he looks at things. And then Sage Creative, brilliant people to work with, Steve and Jess, and also Robert Palmer for making me look this good in this photo back here. And it's good to see that he got a bit of money out of it as well when he won the portrait prize. So I didn't want the book to feel like you'd already picked it up and seen it before. And I think what he did with the images was remarkable. And I really look forward to working with Rob again. And I look forward to working with all of those people again. I think once you've written a book, you get hooked on it. It's a bit of an addiction now. So you want to write another one. So, but an amazing effort by all those people, and even just the team at Hardy Grant to open up their doors in Melbourne, and me get to speak in front of their whole team about the book and get them excited about it. Writing that book was an absolute joy, and I loved every minute of it. And it seems to be the gift that keeps giving. So thank you.
Now to present the Audiobook of the Year, and the nominations are
Fake, a startling true story of love in a world of liars, cheats, narcissists, fantasists and phonies by Stephanie Wood, narrated by Claudia Carvin, Penguin Random House, Australia. No Friend But the Mountains by Behrouz Bouchani, narrated by Omid Tavigian, Isabel Carmody, Janet Galbraith, Matilda Ilmler, Jeffrey Robertson, Richard Flanagan, Sarah Dale, Thomas Keneally, Yumi Steins, and Benjamin Law. Pan Macmillan, Australia. The Resilience Project, Finding Happiness Through Gratitude, Empathy and Mindfulness by Hugh Van Cuylenberg. Narrated by Hugh Van Cuylenberg, Penguin Random House, Australia. The Yield by Tara June Winch, narrated by Tony Briggs, Penguin Random House, Australia. Your Own Kind of Girl by Claire Bowditch, narrated by Claire Bowditch, Audible, Australia.
And the winner of the audio book of the year is No Friend But the Mountains by Behrouz Bouchani, published by Pan Macmillan, Australia.
Yeah, thank you. It's very great. It's big. It's big achievement. So this book is not my book. This book is for everyone. This book is a story of hundreds refugees who are forgotten, you know, in this country. So that's why I think through literature and through this recognition, I feel that we are really accepted. Really, I would like to thank my translators, Omid Tawfiqian and also Munes Mansoubi, that she helped us to translate this book, and also she translated many of my articles. Janet Galbraith, Arnold Zabel. So these people who were a part of this project, and also I really would like to appreciate the literature community.
Celebrate 50 years of beautifully illustrated books with Thames and Hudson, covering everything from art, design, architecture, and more. Complete your creative bookshelf at thamesandhudson.com.au. And now to welcome one of this evening's award winners, Kitty Flanagan.
Hello, welcome to my living room. I am here to present 3 awards this evening, the first of which is Book of the Year for Older Children. And the nominations are
Detention by Tristan Banks, Penguin Random House, Australia. It Sounded Better in My Head by Nina Kenwood, Text Publishing. The Surprising Power of a Good Dumpling by Y. Chim, Allen and Unwin. Welcome to Country Youth Edition by Marsha Langton, Hardy Grant Publishing. Welcome to Your Period by Yumi Steins and Dr. Melissa Kang, Hardy Grant Egmont.
And the winner of Book of the Year for Older Children, it's Welcome to Your Period by Yumi Steins and Dr. Melissa Kang, Hardy Grant Egmont. Congratulations.
What? Oh my goodness! Oh wow!
Oh my God! Shut up! That's not even true. You better not be tricking.
We did not see that coming. That's fantastic.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
There's a bunch of people that Dr. Melissa and I need to say thank you to, not least of all our own mums who are pretty much rubbish at talking to us about getting our period and laid the groundwork for what we'd prefer to see for the next generation of young women. There's also something that we did for the book, which was we reached out to many, many people to talk about their own personal experiences of menstruating, and that includes trans men, girls who got their periods painfully early, people who came from ethnically diverse backgrounds, and that did inform how their parents reacted, my own children, for instance, and myself. And so all those people who really bared something that was often very raw for them still to talk about, a big thank you. Everybody at Hardy Grant was so unreal, but particularly Marisa, Troy, and Pooja. I think they were really key in making this happen for the company, and the illustrator, whose name is Jennifer Latham, who brought something so quirky and funky and cool to the look of the book that I still get so excited when I see it.
thank you, Yumi and Marisa, because this would not have happened had I not met you first, Yumi, and had you not had that conversation with Marisa. I owe a lot, not perhaps to my mother, as you say, but in a way, yes, and my late father as well, because they were very different kinds of parents, and they taught me what would be a better way to teach people about growing up. I have 4 beautiful children who have lived through the Dolly Doctor years with me, helped me answer questions when I felt it was age appropriate for them to do so. And this book is dedicated to the 4 of them. But most of all, really, all those young readers of Dolly magazine and the staff of Dolly magazine who allowed me access to the whole thousands and thousands of questions, which was just something I asked if I could do. It wasn't necessarily something that was a right. So I'm really grateful to 23 years of opportunity to write for the magazine and have a relationship with the staff and editors. And also to Benithan, our wonderful agent, and the ABIA, the people that selected us as winners. Thank you very much.
Moving on now to the award for Book of the Year for Younger Children. And the nominees are
Funny Bones, edited by Kate Temple, Joel Temple and Oliver Pomervan, Allen and Unwin. Real Pigeons Nest Hard, written by Andrew MacDonald, illustrated by Ben Wood. Hardy Grant Egmont. The 117-Story Treehouse by Andy Griffiths and Terry Denton, Pan Macmillan, Australia. The Illustrated Encyclopedia of Ugly Animals by Sammy Bailey, Hachette, Australia. Young Dark Emu by Bruce Pascoe, Magabala Books.
And the winner of Book of the Year for Younger Children, it is The 117-Story Treehouse by Andy Griffiths and Terry Denton, Pan Macmillan, Australia. Well done. Again.
That's wonderful news. Thank you goes obviously to Terry Denton, the illustrator. You know, I'm the luckiest writer in the world to have someone like Terry who can draw anything. Apparently, he's there delivering and more. We've also got Jill, my wife and editor, editing these books, you know, every day for 12 months and just keeping it all in check, keeping so that people can understand them. And obviously, you know, this great publishing company, Pan Macmillan, who just do nothing but support us and bend over backwards to accommodate everything that we need. Just the best publisher I could have wished for.
And the final award I'll be presenting tonight is Children's Picture Book of the Year. And the nominees are
All of the Factors of Why I Love Tractors by Davina Bell and Jenny Lovely, Hardy Grant Egmont. Bluey, The Beach by Ludo Studio, BBC Studios and Penguin Random House Australia. Penguin Random House Australia. Mr. Chicken All Over Australia by Lee Hobbs, Allen and Unwin. The Tiny Star by Mem Fox and Freya Blackwood, Penguin Random House Australia. Willem by Andrew Kelly, Auntie Joy Murphy and Lisa Kennedy, Walker Books Australia.
And the winner of Children's Picture Book of the Year is Bluey, The Beach by Ludo Studio, BBC Studios and Penguin Random House Australia. Published by Penguin Random House Australia. And I'm sorry if you can hear something in the background, that's my dogs appreciating that Bluey just won that. Sorry about the barking.
Bluey! Beach!
Beach! See you soon, Little Mermaid.
Whoa, look at this shell. Wow. Can I go and show Mum?
Yeah, all right. Off you go.
Legs. Good luck. I am the mermaid who got her legs. Woo! mermaid who got her crab legs. Mom, I got a shell to show you. I love walking by myself.
Oh, yeah? Why is that?
I don't know. I just do. But this is nice too, though.
Author, Sydney Swan, and a star of the Indigenous AFL Team of the Century. Please welcome Michael O'Loughlin.
Hi guys, hope everyone's staying safe. I'm up here to present a couple of awards, and the first one being the Biography Book of the Year, sponsored by Borrobox, and the nominations are
Born Again Blackfella by Jack Charles, Penguin Random House Australia. Tell Me Why by Archie Roach, Simon & Schuster Australia. The Prettiest Horse in the Glue Factory by Corey White, Penguin Random House Australia. When All Is Said and Done by Neil Danaher with Warwick Green, Pan Macmillan Australia. Your Own Kind of Girl by Claire Bowditch, Allen and Unwin.
And the winner is winner of the Biography Book of the Year by the great Neil Danaher and Warwick Green, When All Is Said and Done. Congratulations, guys. Well done.
Wow. Thank you. That's very exciting. I'd like to thank all my team that were involved in putting the book together. My inner circle, Andrea McNamara and Warwick Green, they were brilliant in guiding me, supporting, and getting the final product. I'd like to thank Pan Macmillan. They were brilliant support. I'd like to thank Ross, Ingrid, Tracy, Praveen, and Katie, and the rest of the team. You were brilliant. I'd like to thank my family who read the book and helped me and pointed me in the right direction, especially my wife, Jan, and my 4 children, Lauren, Luke, Rebecca, and Ben. And I'm absolutely thrilled with the recognition, and I'm sure my team are too. Thank you very much.
Congratulations, Neil and Warwick. Neil, we know that your story, mate, an absolute inspiration. The whole community is behind you, and just wanted to say well done again. On to my second award winner. I'm here to present the General Fiction Book of the Year, sponsored by Booktopia, a special award, and the nominations are
Bruni by Heather Rose, Allen and Unwin. Silka's Journey by Heather Morris, Echo Publishing. Good Girl, Bad Girl by Michael Robotham, Hachette Australia. Silver by Chris Hammer, Allen and Unwin. The Scholar by Dervla McTiernan, HarperCollins Publishers.
And guys, the winner of the General Fiction Book of the Year is Bruni by Heather Rose, Allen and Unwin. Congratulations, guys. Well done. Great effort.
Oh my God. Oh, wow. Oh my God. Are you serious? Oh, whoa. Oh my Lord. I'm going to cry. I really want to thank the people of Tasmania. I live in a community that has supported my writing ever since my first novel 21 years ago now. And they have been behind me on every single book, long before the rest of Australia, discovered my writing. I also really want to thank my beautiful publishers at Allen and Unwin. They've been enormously supportive. Jane Paul Freeman is my publisher. Krista Munns was my editor. The beautiful Christine Farmer has been my publicist. They've worked tirelessly to make sure that this book was given every opportunity to fly. And that is a very difficult thing to achieve with a book. And the degree of professionalism and care and camaraderie that Alan and Unwin bring to the writing process and to the sense of community and family that we have at Alan and Unwin, that's been very, very special to me. So, yeah, thank you.
The Pixie O'Harris Award is for distinguished and dedicated service to the development and reputation of Australian children's books. To induct this year's Pixie O'Harris Award recipient, please welcome renowned Australian children's writer, Paul Jennings.
Talking about Erica Wagner is both an easy and a tough gig. It's easy because her career has been so brilliant with so many features in it, and it's tough because I've only got 3 minutes, so I'd better get on with it. Erica started as a trainee editor at Penguin Books in 1988 and was soon a much sought after editor. 10 years later, she started her own publishing company, Silverfish, which was bought by Allen and Unwin, where she became publisher of books for children and later children's publishing editor. Erica was instrumental in developing teen literary fiction as a category in Australia, working with writers like Melina Marchetta and Isabel Carmody. She was also an early supporter of Sonia Hartnett, Morris Gleitzman, Terry Denton, Craig Smith, and Lee Hobb, whose book Old Tom was written at a time when few irreverent stories for kids were being published in Australia. She was also an instigator of some of our first graphic novels for young adults, including Nicky Greenberg's amazing adaptation of Hamlet and Gregory Rogers' wordless picture books. She's also nurtured Australian illustrators and has always been passionate about First Nation stories. Her work has helped combat bias, privilege and elitism and presented new voices and forms. Erica received the Dromkeen Medal and was also awarded the prestige Beatrice Davis Fellowship. Throughout her long and distinguished career, Erica's taste, creativity, vision, passion and publishing acumen have helped form the bedrock upon which Australia's current children's publishing scene rests and thrives. She's one of the great forces to have shaped children's publishing in Australia. In new and exciting ways, she has opened up the publishing world to many who have thought that they could never, ever enter it. She is known amongst authors as an innovator and a person who will try something new, exciting, and even risky. And for those of us she has published, she is known for something else, her lovely manner. She is just so kind to everyone. She helps her authors do their very best. She is a mentor. She is passionate and sensitive. She's honest, but knows how to let we vulnerable and sometimes prickly authors down gently. She's strong and determined, but always brings out the best in us. She laughs a lot. She's never dismissive or angry. Her sense of humour and gentle manner inspires us all. Erica, on behalf of the APA and all the authors, illustrators, book designers, editors, publishers, secretaries, booksellers, publicists, and children who are nodding their heads and applauding right now, we want you to know how much you deserve this award and hope that in this moment you can feel all the love that is coming to you as you receive it.
Oh, thank you so much, Paul, for that beautiful introduction. I really, really appreciate it. In a way, Paul is very symbolic of my life in publishing because when I was a bookseller, I actually experienced kids coming into the shop and wanting to buy unreal and unbelievable with their own pocket money. My children learnt to read with Paul Jennings stories. And it was in the bookshop that I had my epiphany that I wanted to be an editor, even though I had no idea what an editor did. And I had dropped out of uni, I had little kids. And then I wrote to Penguin, I said, what do you have to do to be an editor? And I got a marvellous letter back from Bruce Sims who said, just try and get any job in publishing and work your way up. And I feel so blessed that I had that chance. And it was Julie Watts, Paul's wonderful editor and publisher, who gave me that chance all those years ago. And along the way, I've just had so many incredible mentors and colleagues who've helped me, made me look good. We've worked hard, so hard, on so many books. I really want to shout out to all the editors today. I think editors are just the lifeblood of books, obviously, along with the authors and the illustrators. And all those fantastic authors and illustrators that I've worked with, I've learnt something from every single one of you. Some hard things, some sad things, some angry things. But I'm just thrilled with being able to look back a bit now and to see what's happened and to see so many ripple effects. And I think that's what's so beautiful about our publishing industry, and especially in these most peculiar times of all, that we can collaborate, that we can help each other, that we can look after each other, that we can nurture the little ideas. And, you know, really every book starts with a little tiny idea and it floats through someone's head and it might float away, it might fall flat on its face. But then it can also turn into a book. And that's when the team comes in. That's when someone sees that little idea, when someone is brave enough, courageous enough to share that idea with someone else and then work on it to make it real, because we can all have ideas. We all think we've got a book in us. Not everyone does. But if you work at it, if you try and make it real and then share it and test it with the world, test it with an audience, that's when the magic happens. So I would have used up all my minutes if I'd thanked everyone by name. So I'm not going to do that because I don't want to miss out important people. But I do really, really want to thank all my wonderful colleagues at Allen & Unwin, where I've been for 20 years and had sort of quite majestically sort of built up to finishing at the end of March. And then, of course, the whole world turned on its head. And I'm still working in books, still doing some publishing projects, which I'm really excited about. But I'm so grateful to Eva Mills, publishing director, Patrick Gallagher, and Robert Gorman, of course, and everyone at Allen & Unwin, and all the other publishing houses I've worked with. See, this is where it's dangerous to mention names. I'm so grateful and really feel very honoured to have received the Pixie O'Harris this year. Thank you very much.
Her book, Your Own Kind of Girl, was released late last year, but now, ladies and gentlemen, live from Melbourne, Ms. Claire Bowditch.
Hello there. I wish we could be together tonight to do this. Cheers. Congratulations on all your marvellous, marvellous books this year. I wanted to sing you a song that I wrote when I was a child and I had lots of dreams, and I dedicate it to the person you're going to be at the end of this adventure and all the things that are coming. It's called Amazing Life. Act in the theatre with inspiring humans, learn a language and run like the wind. Help people fit in, travel to every country and make $1 million. And smile when your children have babies. Make the heart your home, inviting and warm. don't you? You want an amazing life. You can't decide. Don't have to be just one thing, but you have to start with something. So you'll be a little bit older by October. You've reneged on your pre-birth promises, and now you think this journey is over. Let me encourage you to know you feel it when it is over. If it just feels like hell, take it as a sign you need a little time to be still and listen for a while. You want an amazing life. You can't decide. Think you have to be fully formed already, don't you? You want an amazing life. You can't decide. You don't have to be just one thing, but you have to start with something. You don't have to be just one thing. Have to start with something. You do not have to be just one thing, but you have to start with something. Anything will do. Thank you for having me. Bless you all. See you next year.
Hi, Trent. Yeah, I friggin' know. I friggin' know you didn't friggin' get a friggin' award this year. I can't friggin' believe it, mate. Yeah, you can't friggin' win an award 2 years in a row for the same friggin' book, mate. Doesn't get... Sorry, I'll be with you in a sec. Trent, it's friggin' not possible.
The Lloyd O'Neill Award recognises outstanding service to the Australian book industry by an individual from within its ranks. To induct this year's recipient of the Lloyd O'Neill Award, please welcome first Lee Sales, followed by Michael Hayward, publisher at Text Publishing.
Hello, I'm Lee Sales. The Lloyd O'Neill Award for Services to the Book Industry is given to a person who's made a stellar contribution to Australian literature, and it's my honour to salute this year's recipient, Helen Garner. Thank you to the Australian Book Industry Awards for giving me this privilege. From her first novel, Monkey Grip, in 1977, to her most recent work, Yellow Notebook, Garner has always forced us to look more closely, to think more deeply, and to pay sharper attention and to wrestle with truths that may make us uncomfortable. It's hard to overstate the influence Garner has had on Australian writers of fiction, non-fiction, short stories, journalism and screenplays. I know that no other writer has influenced my journalism as much. No other writer has taught me more to remember the value of simple observation and close listening. The First Stone was the first of Garner's books that I read, and it was an absolute revelation. The idea of stripping back the journalism to its bones, of letting go of the notion that you're an independent observer and instead to show the reader the process, including your own thinking and your own relationship to the story you're covering. From that book to Joe Cinque's Consolation to The Spare Room, Garner has always been utterly unflinching in looking difficult facts square in the face. She never shies away from asking questions of herself and others that can be profoundly exposing and raw. She once said that she wrote to understand the shape of things and to make them comprehensible to herself. What's made her so beloved of readers is that the clarity of her writing makes the incomprehensible more reachable to all of us. She constantly reminds those of us who love language of the power of the perfectly chosen word and the punch that the sparest of sentences can pack if perfectly crafted. I would find it thrilling to have her eye over this speech. It would be about 1/3 as long and about 10 times as good. One of the things that I love about Helen is watching how she's a great source of encouragement to up-and-coming writers. She reads manuscripts, she sometimes offers endorsements for covers, and it's hard to overstate how much that can mean to a young writer on their first book to know that somebody of Helen Garner's achievements and ability cares enough to help them, or even more amazingly, that she might even admire what they've written. There's a wonderful line in Madame Bovary that we should not meet our idols because their guilt may stick to our fingers. The thing about Helen Garner is that you meet her and she is warm and hilarious and encouraging. I've never for a minute ever regretted meeting my idol, and I say that in all sincerity. I do truly idolise her. So it's my great pleasure and with genuine admiration and love to congratulate Helen Garner on being the 2020 recipient of the Lloyd O'Neill Award for Services to the Australian Book Industry.
You know, Helen's now in her late 70s. It's very hard to imagine the Australian literary landscape without her. She made a massive splash when her first novel was published in the late 1970s, Monkey Grip, and it was the beginning of a career in which Helen would not only redefine the possibilities for Australian fiction, but she would explore many other kinds of writing as well. And when I think about her achievement, it's that it's so consistent and extraordinary across so many different kinds of writing. So she's not only an extraordinary novelist, and Monkey Grip remains an exceptionally influential novel. It was a book that seemed to open up the possibilities of writing Australian fiction about Australians in Australia. It seemed to be the book that allowed us to forget that we had to perhaps appeal to readers outside Australia, that the readers that mattered most were the ones that were under our own nose. It was published by a really, really important small press, McPhee Gribble, which became itself very influential in promoting Australian writing. And from there, Helen went on to write an amazing body of journalism, which we collected. It's a 600-page book. It's the size of War and Peace as true stories a year or two ago. A really stupendous lifetime achievement in writing. She did screenplays, she did short stories. Helen really stands alone as someone who has mastered every form of writing that she's taken on, and has written books which are towering achievements and remain very influential and read by huge numbers of people. I think Helen was probably the first writer I ever met. I was probably in my late teens. She's been a steadfast presence and example in my life. She's had an incredible influence on so many of us at Text Publishing. We couldn't be prouder of her, and it is a huge pleasure to announce that she's the winner of the Lloyd O'Neill Award for 2020.
Just before I heard I'd been given this award, I read Brendan Niles' terrific book, Friends and Rivals, about Ethel Turner, Henry Handel Richardson, Barbara Bainton and Nettie Palmer, 4 Australian writers of my grandparents' generation. Their struggle to get their voices heard and published and read, and their often rocky relationships with each other, fascinated me. So much of their experience in writing and as women was familiar to a writer of my generation. And yet when it came to publishing, I realised that by comparison with theirs, I've had a dream run. Firstly, I didn't have to try and get my work accepted in London. I just laugh if I try to imagine how Monkey Grip would have gone down over there in 1977. One thing I was always determined not to do was to write for people outside this country. I mean, I didn't want to have to present Australia as a spectacle. I wanted to be able to say, they walked down Lygon Street, or they took the kids to the Fitzroy Baths, or they got a hamburger at the Twins, without having to provide laborious geographical and sociological explanations. McPhee Gribble understood what I was getting at. They took a punt on me, and away I went. My gratitude for this is boundless. Looking back over my life in books, I'm grateful too for the encouraging and often hilarious friendships I'm lucky enough to have had and still to have with various publishers and editors and booksellers in this country. With Penguin for a good long while. Then when things got nasty for me in the mid-90s, I had Pan Macmillan in my corner. And now I'm with Text, which feels finally like home. I never imagined I'd be given an award like this one. Writing's a pretty lonely sort of life, sitting in a room all by yourself, trying to face down all your horrible crimes and faults of character and get past them to the story. So when they told me I'd won this lovely gong, I felt quite weepy. I thought of myself suddenly not as a gloomy introvert with no redeeming social features, but as a member of an honourable company, the book people of our country. And I got a very warm, very happy, very patriotic feeling. So now I'd like to thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Please welcome Australian actor, author, television and radio host, Andrew Daddo.
Well, g'day, I'm Andrew Daddo, thrilled to be part of the awards. I've got a couple to announce. The first is the 2020 Book Retailer of the Year. So this recognises an Australian company or group of companies or retailers that has best demonstrated excellence and contributed to the overall success of the industry for the 2019 year. And here are the nominees.
Booktopia, Dymocks, Harry Hartog Bookseller, QBD Books, Readings.
Congratulations to the nominees. I've got the envelope. Oh, I love it. I love how the envelopes change all the time. It's hard to open, so just get that. Yep. Okay, there it is. And it's upside down. Silly me. The Book Retailer of the Year, Readings.
My God, no, really. Oh, that's incredibly exciting. I'm really proud of that, and I think what's wonderful about it acknowledges all the work all my colleagues in Readings do, and not just one shop. So that is very, very good news, and I'm terribly proud. And I'd very much like to thank the APA and the industry for this recognition and for organising this very special event, a unique event, hopefully. It will never be repeated again. I'd just like to say I work with some wonderful booksellers, my son Joe Rubo, Alison Huber, Rosalind McClintock, and Elke Power, the editor of our monthly magazine. And I have some wonderful store managers who are committed booksellers that really contribute to reading success. Claire Atherfield, Angela Crocombe, Desi Boardman, Bernard Vella, Sharon Peterson, and Kate McIntosh. And I'd also like to thank the publishers and the authors who, without you, those people, we just wouldn't exist. And our customers too, who are extremely important as well.
And now to present the Book Shop of the Year award. And this award is to recognise individual physical bookshops, thank God for you, in Australia that demonstrated excellence over the course of the 2019 calendar year. And here are the finalists.
Books Kinokuniya, Sydney. Fuller's Bookshop, Hobart. Mary Mutton Bookshop, Port Melbourne. Readings Carlton, Melbourne. Riverbend Books, Brisbane.
And the winner of the Bookshop of the Year, and I've got a new envelope with a new, okay, there it is. Congratulations. It is Books Kinokuniya in Sydney.
Oh, that's so fantastic. That's such good news. Oh my goodness. Thank you. This is a nice piece of news for, today. And on behalf of the team at Books Kinokuniya, I'm so pleased and excited to accept the Bookshop of the Year award for 2020. It's been an interesting couple of months with many new unexpected challenges. We've had to adapt our regular community-focused in-store book selling ways to a more kind of online way of doing things, but that's okay. We're getting there. So we'd like to again say thank you so much for this wonderful honour, and we'd like to wish all the best to our book selling and publishing colleagues, and we hope to see everyone on the other side. Thanks.
And now we'd like to acknowledge the Rising Star of the Year Award, for which we had 3 nominees: Grace Breen, Hazel Lamb and Sophie Splatt. The winner of this year's Rising Star Award is Hazel Lamb from HarperCollins. Congratulations, Hazel. It is with great pleasure that we would now like to introduce the Minister for Communication, Cyber Safety and the Arts, the Honourable Paul Fletcher, MP.
Hello, I'm Paul Fletcher, Minister for Communication, Cyber Safety and the Arts, and it's great to be with you, albeit virtually, at the Australian Book Industry Awards. Now, these are strange and unusual times. We're all becoming familiar with social distancing and self-isolation. But of course, one activity which stands up pretty well in these unusual circumstances is reading. And 65% of Australians over the age of 14 read for pleasure at least once a week. And I'm sure there's a lot more reading going on at the moment that might happen in other circumstances. I'm very pleased to have the job this evening of announcing the winner of the Matt Rochelle Award for New Writer of the Year. Matt was a big supporter of new and emerging writers, and it's highly appropriate that his name is attached to this award. So let's first have a look at the nominees for this award.
Being Black and Chicken and Chips by Matt O'Kine, Hachette Australia. Call Me Evie by J.P. Pomare, Hachette Australia. It Sounded Better in My Head by Nina Kenwood, Text Publishing. Sand Talk by Tyson Yunker Porter, Text Publishing. Your Own Kind of Girl by Claire Bowditch, Allen and Unwin.
Well, a great range of nominees, and can I incidentally acknowledge Simpson's Solicitors who sponsored this award. And I'm now very pleased to announce that the winner of the Matt Rochelle Award for New Writer of the Year is Claire Bowditch for Your Own Kind of Girl. Well done, Claire.
What? Sorry, I'm what? What a beautiful thing. Oh God, I can't tell you how much it means to me. Thank you. In rock and roll, in music, we're such a bunch of mongrels, and that's the way, you know, it's wonderful. That's the spirit of Australian rock and roll. And to have come into as an outsider, as a, you know, a fan, as someone who has been a reader and a lover of books passionately all my life. Just a debt of gratitude to, of course, Kelly Fagan from Allen and Unwin, who you know, worked with me to build what is my first book and knew what it meant to me. It was a promise I made to myself at 21. And I had so much self-doubt along the way. And there's nothing like writing a book about self-doubt to make your self-doubt loud. And the way she held my hand through that, I was introduced to her by my wonderful agent, Pippa Masson from Curtis Brown, who's just been a bloody angel. And to work with Ali Laveau, to work with the Allen and Unwin family, to work with Kristen Munz, to work with Isabel O'Brien on publicity, and to the wonderful team at Pitch Perfect. There were just so many people who came together, but really the thanks goes to you darling booksellers, to our darling industry. I'm so grateful. I can't tell you how much this means to me. And it couldn't have happened without my incredible family who let me tell this story, who encouraged me to tell this story, who helped me tell it as true as I could. And to my beautiful husband, Marty Brown, to my children, Oscar, Elijah and Asher, who really, this was a very different experience to have a mum who suddenly wore a dressing gown for about 1.5 years as I wrote this book, which is, I'm not really exaggerating. They were so encouraging and so kind. So I really want to just thank them so much, and all of my love.
Celebrate 50 years of beautifully illustrated books with Thames and Hudson, covering everything from lifestyle, gardening, children's, and more. Complete your creative bookshelf at thamesandhudson.com.au. Australian author, anaesthetist, cave diver, and Australian of the Year, who played a crucial role in the Tam Luang cave rescue. Please welcome Richard Harris.
So this evening I'm here to present the winner of the Small Publisher Adult Book of the Year, and the nominations are
Feeding the Birds at Your Table, A Guide for Australia by Daryl Jones, New South Publishing. Kindred by Curly Saunders, Magabala Books. Paris Savages by Catherine Johnson, Ventura Press. Sand Talk by Tyson Yankaporta, Text Publishing. The White Girl by Tony Birch, University of Queensland Press.
And the winner is Sand Talk by Tyson Yankaporta from Text Publishing.
Okay. That's really good. That's really good. Yeah. Well, I mean, this was a real non-traditional book. Sorry, it's a really non-traditional book, and it was a bit of a gamble, I guess, for my publishers, Text Publishing, to take it as well. And particularly because, you know, I wanted to market it in non-traditional ways, and, you know, kind of follow on the grapevine and word of mouth and stuff like that, more so than, you know, like I didn't want to do television or anything like that. And yeah, so they did take a big risk doing the book and doing it the way I wanted to do it. And I don't know, it's really nice to know that risk is paid off, you know. I don't know, it's always an exciting story, isn't it, when somebody tries to do something that's really unlikely and then it turns out really well. Yeah. And particularly the books are a vehicle for a lot of messages and stories and images from old people. So yeah, particularly this is a really big honor for old man Puma, who a lot of his symbols, Sand Talk symbols, are in the book. And the book very much has been a vehicle for him to be able to get those things out into the world, because he really wanted them in the world. He really thinks that will change the world and change the way people think. So yeah, this is an honor. It's really good.
Fantastic. Congratulations to Tyson. Now, the next award I've been asked to present is the Small Publisher Children's Book of the Year, and the nominations are
Little Bird's Day, written by Sally Morgan, illustrated by Johnny Wakadja Malibur, Magabala Books. Love Your Body, written by Jessica Sanders, illustrated by Carol Rossetti, 5 Mile. Lunch at 10 Pomegranate Street by Felicita Sala, Scribe Publications. Sick Bay by Nova Wheatman, University of Queensland Press. You Can Change the World, The Kid's Guide to a Better Planet by Lucy Bell, Pantera Press.
And the winner is? And the winner is Love Your Body, written by Jessica Sanders and illustrated by Carol Rossetti by 5 Mile.
Oh my God, really? Ah! Oh my gosh. Oh wow, thank you so much. This is such a surprise. I think I wasn't obviously expecting it to be announced for a while. So that's so wonderful. And yeah, I'm just really grateful. A shout out to Carol and Steph as well, who illustrated it and designed it. Just incredible women in and of themselves, but also just so talented. And like Carol just really understood the message and captured that diversity so beautifully. And I also, if this is the time for thanking people, would like to thank 5 Mile, of course, my amazing publishers, and every individual that helped bring this book out into the world to reach so many young girls. It's just been an incredible relationship with them, and in particular Tash Besliev, who's just been the champion of this book from day one since I sat down with her. She just completely resonated with the message and was just an absolute woman on a mission to bring it to everyone. So eternally grateful to her too.
Congratulations to Jessica and Carol. That's tremendous. Now, the final award I've been asked to present, sponsored by Avato, is the winner of the Small Publisher of the Year. And the nominees are
Magabala Books, New South Publishing, University of Queensland Press.
And the winner of the Small Publisher of the Year, Magabala Books.
I thought this was, wow.
Seriously?
I didn't expect that.
Oh, that's fantastic. Wow, wow.
Yeah.
Thank you to the ARBIAs, and thank you to those that were on the committee and panel, and for all in the industry that have supported us over the many, many years. Coming from a staff at Magabala Books, thank you to our management committee, who have had complete faith in all of us for many, many years. So yeah, thank you, everyone. Yeah.
It's a team effort. It really is a team effort in terms of our partners who help us, our sponsors, Department of Culture and Arts, the Australia Council of Arts. The team at Magabala just works so hard because it's a lifestyle. You know, we don't offer the flash wages, it's a lifestyle. You know, the board's fantastic. Our readers out there, absolutely thank you so much, our readers who support us endlessly, our creators, our authors and our illustrators. Thank you everyone for the belief that you have in Magabala, and trust that you have in us, that we can cut it and produce the quality books that we continue to produce year in and year out. No, thank you everyone.
I've always been amazed by them. The best editorial I've ever had has always been from Magabala. The design qualities that they bring to their books is excellent. The standard of governance of the company is wonderful. I've known them for a long time now. It's a great company. It's a great Australian story.
And now, former Prime Minister, author and CEO of Beyond Blue, it is with great pleasure to introduce Julia Gillard to present our final 3 awards for the evening.
I'm delighted to be here with you this evening, even in this format. In my capacity as chair of Beyond Blue, we know that people getting together matters, and what better thing to get together over than books. I've been asked tonight to present 3 awards. The first award that I have the honour of presenting is the Literary Fiction Book of the Year, and the nominees are
Damascus by Christos Tsiolkas, Allen and Unwin. The Weekend by Charlotte Wood, Allen and Unwin. The Yield by Tara June Winch, Penguin Random House Australia. There Was Still Love by Fevelle Perret, Hachette Australia. Wolf Island by Lucy Treloar, Pan Macmillan Australia.
And the winner is Charlotte Wood for The Weekend. Charlotte, congratulations. What a fantastic honour.
No way! No! Oh, you tricky devils. Oh, that's, wow. That's so lovely. I'm getting a bit emotional because I think about those other writers on that list, Christos and Fable and Tara and Lucy, and on the long list too, you know, with Melanie and Leah Purcell and Carrie. I loved Exploited View. Those books are amazing. So all books take a lot of people to get into the world, and of course my amazing publisher Jane Palfreyman and her team at Allen and Unwin got this book into the world the big thanks go to the Janes, or the Days actually, Jenny Darling, my agent, Jane Palfreyman, Jane Finnemore, who did the most amazing job of publicity that I think I've ever had for a book. Sandy Carl for the amazing cover. But everyone at Allen and Unwin for their real, genuine love of and enthusiasm for books, because you can tell by all the books that they have on all of these shortlists this year how much they put into their work, and I just adore them and I'm so grateful to be with them. Thank you, everyone. And thank you for this beautiful prize.
The next award I have the pleasure of presenting is Publisher of the Year, which is sponsored by Media Super. And the nominees are
Allen and Unwin, Hachette Australia, Penguin Random House Australia.
And the winner is Allen and Unwin. Congratulations.
Wow, that is so exciting. Thank you. I'm thrilled, obviously, that we would win this award for our publishing that Allen and Unwin and Murdoch Books did last year. Last year we published close to 300 new Australian books, and we sold almost 3 million books written by Australian authors. I'd like to thank all of the people, both here in Australia and all around the world, who work with us. Authors, agents, booksellers, media, other publishing companies, printers, freelancers, all of them. I'd also sincerely like to thank the fantastic team at Allen and Unwin and Murdoch Books. Our multi-skilled remote staff, all busily working from home, dotted across the country at the moment. They are a magnificent team. Obviously, it's very, very difficult right now in the wider world and in our industry. But the writing, the book selling and the publishing industries will not go away. We are a very determined group of people. So please, everyone, get out there and buy a book. Support an author, support an agent, support a bookseller. By working together, we will all get through this.
Media Super has been a supporter of the creative community and the pursuit of professional excellence since its inception over 30 years ago. We are proud to partner with the APA and the ARBIAs and to support everyone working in the publishing industry. Congratulations to the Publisher of the Year and all of tonight's nominees.
The final award I'll be presenting tonight is the very prestigious Book of the Year. What a pleasure. The nominees are, and the winner of the Book of the Year is Bluey the Beach by Ludo Studio, BBC Studios and Penguin Random House Australia. Congratulations.
We're so honoured to have won this award for Bluey the Beach, and we'd like to say a big thank you to BBC Studios for introducing us to Penguin and for supporting us so brilliantly all along the way.
And we'd also like to say thank you to the Australian book industry for championing homegrown Australian stories. And thank you to the voters and the judges of the Australian Book Industry Awards for voting for The Beach. Thank you.
A massive thanks to our booksellers and retailers for embracing Bluey books with such enthusiasm, and a huge thanks to all of our Bluey readers.
And a massive thank you to Penguin, in particular Holly and Jess, for all your enthusiasm for everything Bluey. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's all we have time for the 2020 Australian Book Industry Awards. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Remember, we will be back again with you next year in hopefully slightly more sociable circumstances, slightly less distancing. In the meantime, have yourself a marvellous year of reading.
Oh God, I can't tell you how much it means to me. Thank you.
Where should we put it?
Oh my God, really?
Wow. Thank you.
It's really not working, is it?
That's good ratings, yeah.
Well, incredibly exciting.
What?
goodness! No way!
We won.
So happy.
I actually have to cut my own fringe.
Congratulations, Blue.
Have you got some special lens there? No, I'm serious. You think I'm kidding?
What a beautiful thing.